Hello, everybody. Welcome to Conservatish, episode 250. My name is Peter Edgar Feliciano. Wherever you're listening, make sure you subscribe, share, rate, review. This is now going live on Instagram, or no, I'm not on Instagram, on YouTube, on Rumble, and on Twitter, or it should be. This is my first time streaming live through StreamYard on Rumble. So we'll see if it's actually doing that. No. All right. See, this is why I need a producer. I know you're a broke motherfucker, so maybe Zach can what do you want payment in? Maybe like $4 an hour, that works? 5?
For me?
Yeah, to be my producer.
See, I have trouble producing my own shit. You giving me a lot of credit thinking I know what I'm doing around here.
Touche. Let's first up again. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is going to be a live stream. I'm going to try to do Conservatish live more frequently because I like kind of the interactive bullshit, and I like kind of being without a net. And it's less work on my end. So, you know, I'm a busy motherfucker.
That's
Ladies
good.
and gentlemen, our guest today is Zach, aka GVDZOOKS. Yay!
Yo, Petey, baby.
It's been fucking 2 years since we've been on the show together.
Has it been that long? That's when we were in New York, right?
Yeah, in Brooklyn.
That's right. Man, that was a whole pandemic ago, huh?
That was a whole
very
fucking
fast.
Yeah. Actually, no, it must have been like 2.5.
Yeah, I think it was longer. It might have fucked around and been 4 years ago. You know?
Do you realize I've been doing this show? I'm coming up on 5 fucking years in a couple months.
Yeah, man. I'm proud of you. This is what, 250?
Yeah, 250.
Look at you, man. Look at you.
I know. Thank you very much, sir.
I remember episode 1, you know?
Huh?
I remember watching episode 1.
Well, you were racist even back then, my God.
Correct.
Speaking of racism,
worse.
Speaking of racism, where can people find you and who are you, please?
My name is Zach. Some people call me GVDZOOKS. At this point, I'm just happy if anyone talks about me. So just call me whatever you want to call me. What do I do? I'm a podcaster, musician, photographer sometimes, you know, just a little bit of this and that stuff and things. You can find me on Instagram, GVDZOOKS. The podcast is On the Way Down. If you want to follow that on Instagram, it's OTWD Podcast. And that's kind of all I want to say about myself.
Fantastic. And you're in where exactly is Santa Ana? No, where are you from?
No, I look Mexican, but I'm actually in Anaheim.
Ah,
yeah,
very nice.
Anaheim Hills. You've been here, actually. This is I think the first time I was on the show, you came to my house.
No, I think yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every time we do this, you live in a different part of the goddamn country, Pete.
Well, fucking Daddy's looking for his fucking career. All right, I gotta.
Right, I'm not mad at you. I think next time I'm on this, you're gonna live in New Orleans or some shit. You know what I mean?
No.
With all the
been to New Orleans?
Gators, I have not.
It's a creepy fucking spot, dude.
I assume so.
It's and not so like the logo, not logo, the name. What's like tagline? The tagline of New Orleans motto. Thank you very much.
Got you.
The motto of New Orleans is "Be nice or leave," but they forget the first part. It's just the passive aggressive. You know, we're nicer than you. Get the fuck out. It's the bad juju in the air.
I'll be mean and never show up instead of being nice and leave, you know?
Flying in, get some beignets, and get the fuck out.
That's
the way to do New Orleans.
That's right.
So you're in Anaheim for some reason. How's life down
there? In general, you know, I'm not mad at it. It's all right. I'm blessed out here, you know? I'm in a nicer part of Anaheim. So it's a little rainy.
What's that? You are in a nice spot. Is it because I know too often, not too often, but frequently on this show the last couple of years especially, it's just been all politics. But you know, you and I on our past episodes and every time we talk is like it's a little but more about just, you know, ragging on these motherfuckers and then moving on. Just dunking, as they say.
Do they say that? Is that a thing?
I don't know. You're Tongan. You should know these things.
Oh, it's a Tongan thing.
You're like a mix of like a Tongan who grew up in Iran. That's what you are. David
shit.
Letterman teeth.
Oh, we talking about the teeth already. Okay.
Listen, I'm sending it with love. Hang on. Pussy Monster says, "What the fuck is good?" Hello.
Where is this? Where are you seeing this? Oh,
It's in the
live chat?
comments. Yeah.
Okay.
Stalked by September Smith. Iggy, that's way too long a name. Said Plandemic. Yes, indeed, Plandemic.
That's right. Let's go back to you talking about my teeth though, because I could have swore this was a pop-up ad for like hot air balloon tours. But then I realized, oh no, I'm talking to my friend Pete Feliciano. I thought I was reading a CNN article about the Chinese spy balloon, but
Oh my
turns out
God.
we're live streaming.
This goddamn yes, Pussy Monster. Yeah, see, this is the thing. I try to wear my shit. I have to put it off to the side. See, yours is like thinner and not your head, because that's still just as balloony. But no. You've built out this, don't fucking lie. I'm another bald motherfucker,
Yes,
okay, who has beard tendencies and also eyebrow game, okay? You've built up your beard so that it looks like it doesn't come to a point down here, okay? I've seen you without a beard, motherfucker. Don't lie.
Okay. So, but also your headphones are just unreasonably wide.
They're treacherous, and I have a giant head, so when I go like that, okay, that'll be a little smaller, but now it's kind of squeezy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Do you keep one ear off because it's kind of weird to be locked in with two? That's what I do.
Yeah, I kind
of
of
have to hear the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta know like what I'm saying, what I feel, and whatever.
Sure.
But anyway, so let's talk about your fucking on the way down. You've been doing it for a while now, huh?
Yeah, I think just pretty much as long as you've been doing this, I'm just far less consistent.
It happens.
It does.
I really like the fucking videos you've been putting out, though.
Thank you, man.
I mean, obviously you're a fucking prolific photographer, but the fact that you've gotten really professional when it comes to your videos is like, well done production.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm very proud of it. It's definitely not the best move as far as it takes a lot of time. You know what I mean? As you could imagine, because I don't go to school for nothing. You know what I mean? I just kind of YouTube my way through life, and that mixed with just sheer obsession, it tends to put out some cool shit. But give me a month sometimes. You know what I mean? Shit takes a while. You know?
Right. But and you've been what's the kind of, because I've watched a couple episodes, but I don't even understand what the name of the show On the Way Down. And not just that, I got a fucking problem with you.
Okay.
Every time I see your fucking show, all of a sudden I get that shitty song "On the Way Down," and I saw you and you saved me from myself. Remember that stupid fucking 90s?
I can't say I do. What song is that?
I think it's On the Way Down, or at least it sounds like it in my head.
Don't blame me for your shitty taste in music, Pete Feliciano.
All right. So what's your dumb show about?
It started off with a theme, and then that changed, and then I started talking to people, and they just kind of like went wherever they were in life. Like if you're a musician, we're going to talk about music. If you're a comedian, we'll talk about comedy, and nowadays I'm at this age and point in my life where I just kind of, if I'm depressed one day, you're going to hear that I'm depressed that day. If I'm super manic, we're going to talk about whatever pops into my head. You know what I mean? And if you happen to be a guest on it, just come along with me. I enjoy it. My favorite ones are honestly the solo episodes. I feel like you probably relate to that a little bit.
Yeah.
I like talking to people, but I mostly enjoy entertaining the voices in my head.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And I gotta say there's a lot more freedom to it as well.
Absolutely.
I've noticed that when I'm sometimes, not always, like with your ass, I'll talk over you all the time. It's no problem.
Yeah.
But with somebody who's like an important guest who I've gotten booked on the show, it just feels like, okay, my job is to ask questions because they're the featured person.
Sure.
Whereas I just like ranting, you know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell people, like, I don't really, like, I could figure it out. I could force myself to interview people, but I'm not fucking Larry King. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't know. And truthfully, if I'm being honest, I don't care about people enough to really like be interested in what you have going on. You know what I mean? I could fake it, but yeah.
And not just that, but you also have a lot of good episodes with like, just, it seems like with homies, you know what I mean? Like that's where the vibe is because you are more comfortable. I know I am more comfortable when it's
Yes.
you or Mike Harlow or a couple of these other motherfuckers where I can just say nigger all I want and just let my hair down.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
And
Yeah,
just like, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to show up a certain way. I don't have to
sure.
fucking perform. I don't need to, whatever.
Yeah.
So having the freedom to do that is really fun. Why did you start the show?
I have this thing where when I start off as a consumer, whether that's music or, whatever it is, comedy, anything, and then you can pretty much start the clock to when the day arrives and I'm like, I want to do that too. I think I could do that. I'm just really full of myself is what I'm saying, I just
Right.
have delusions of grandeur. And so I was like, fuck it, I want to do that. And here we are,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
When you have the ability to get into that, because I think that's let's see. I had these thoughts of different topics, but let's focus on one thing at a time. I think that's a healthy thing. It can be used, like you said, manic, whatever.
Mhm.
It can be used for poor, for bad, for evil.
Sure.
But I think getting interested and wanting to dig is a natural thing that we need to make space for or whatever. And I think dudes are more frequently interested in it and we're better at it.
Mm.
So let's talk shit about women.
Yeah, let's go. Fuck these bitches.
I know, right?
What makes us better at it? I mean, I agree. I just want to know why you think we're better at it.
I think we're better at it because we had to be. I think evolutionarily, or God or Adam and Eve or whatever the fuck, for some reason, we've been more practiced at it and we are biologically predisposed to it. So why not pay attention to it? You know what I mean? Like I always look at like, I've gone on this rant before, but I look at, like Marvel shows or whatever, or movies or whatever. And there's always this rail thin fucking bitch, just beating up a bunch of dudes. And I'm like, that's not real.
Never,
Like my
never.
bicep is bigger than your fucking face. Like you're
Yes.
not gonna, like, it takes a rare, even in MMA, you saw those trans fucking boys, trans girls, whatever the fuck, beating the shit
Yeah.
out of girls. And it's just
Yeah.
like, this is even the sphere where you're able to really show up and you still can't do it. So why would we want to focus on why what's the word I'm looking for? Why not just pay attention to our natural instincts?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Absolutely. You broke that down perfectly. I have nothing to add. Next topic.
No, but what's your thoughts on, like, do you think it's biological? Do you think it's evolutionary?
I think it might be societal. Is that a
Sure.
term? Societal? Yeah. I think there might be some, I don't know, they'll argue, but that's what they do best is argue. I think there's more pressure on a man to make something of himself and be good at whatever he does. Would you agree with that? Unless it's like motherhood or whatever miracle we want to bring to the table.
Right. You ever heard of the book Models by Mark
Yeah.
Manson?
Yes. I
Yeah.
have.
Sick book. And one of the things he was talking about is like how it like neediness as an example is not like it's a deal breaker more frequently for women than it is for men. When a girl is sizing up a dude, if he's like, what do you want to eat and where do you want to go and and I just love you and I'm just over the moon for you, blah blah blah. That's a much more frequently a turn off, like a deal breaker turn off for girls than it is when a girl's like, oh, I don't know, and because I'm like, all right, come on, get in the car, let's go. I don't need a girl to show up as a man I don't need a girl to show up any other way. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have needs or will not cut a bitch off if she's acting, insecure, like long-term relationship wise. But in order to fuck you, I don't get, as that old Patrice joke, I don't care if you can read, you know what I mean?
I love that you always reference Patrice. You're one of the only people in my life who do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
NNMMN. That's the longest name in the fucking world. I almost want to kick you out just for bit. Says Ming the Merciless ×2.
I thought you were talking about my last name for a second. I was like, don't tell my last name and shit. Do you know my last name?
Yeah, it's the dumbest. It's the dumbest.
Well, that's why I thought you were referring to my last name.
No, I don't understand why Tongans came up with that name for you. Okay. Tolu? Is that what your real name? That's your
Hey, that's a Patrice joke too.
Yeah. Zach's name, Zach's last name isn't even really a name, it's just a symbol. You know what I mean? Like he fucking it was put into a boat.
You're convinced I'm Tongan and I'm just letting it go. That's because it's funnier that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That same name says, I still crack up laughing when I remember what Peter said on Carrie Smith's stream about men being manly. It is what it is. What did I say? Oh, yeah, that one was like, oh, the future is female. Okay, well, open your own pickle jars. You know? And like it's just like our tactile experience should matter when it comes to dudes being really interested in something and especially being more interested in things than people. I think that's a healthy thing to have, and we don't need to change us to fit girls' narratives. I really genuinely believe one of the ways to fix the world is to stop letting girls lead. Now, does that mean that I don't want them to be president or CEO? I'm like, no, fucking do what you got, whatever. I'm talking about a micro, right? Relationship-wise, whatever. If you default to what girls are more emotional, girls are more liquid, girls are more airy and whatever. Like, that's good. Someone needs to kiss the boo-boos.
That's what I love about them.
The wolves. Yeah, that's what I love about them too.
Yeah.
I'm fucking passing the ball to you, nigga. Fucking, Jesus. I just ranted too long for like fucking 5 minutes.
No, you could never rant too long. I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that we're live. I don't do shit like this, Pete, because I tend to say outlandish shit like you do when I'm uncomfortable. You know,
fucking do it. Bring that shit. I think I give a fuck.
I know you don't give a fuck, Pete. I'm not worried about that. I'm over here reading these comments. I just figured out how to access this. I'm a grandpa, as you said. I don't know. This is, I feel like one of these faggots who like live stream playing video games that my son watches.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. And then says, no, it was like, let me know whose pussy is getting wet when I'm choking you. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Nature don't lie. Nature don't lie. You know what I mean? And or God or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Bottom line is I want fulfillment and I want truth. And I don't find that a lot in the normal sphere of things, especially around feminism and things like that. And I don't see a lot of happy bitches. There's almost no happy feminists. Have you noticed that? They're usually like just uncomfortable, annoying, aggressive, just shitty people.
Well, their entire outlook on life has been designed around being the victim of something. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, that tends to not facilitate happiness, I would imagine.
Right.
So,
and I think like when I look at your Instagram and you post and shit about your kid and blah blah blah. He's like fucking 73 now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He is exactly 73. You got it right.
Yeah. But like you've always seemed to have, I remember hanging out with y'all and blah blah blah. You've always seemed to have like, without even necessarily having an ethos, or maybe you do, and maybe that's the question. Do you like around raising him to let him be like the dude that he is naturally?
Yes, absolutely. It's weird because I definitely do that, but he's grown up in an entirely different world than I'm used to. It's a different world than when I was even 21. You know what I'm saying? Just with the instant access to shit and even instant access to people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always tiptoeing that line between kind of trying to instill in him what I fundamentally believe it to be true, and then also kind of giving him some wiggle room because he like I said, I don't know this world. You know what I mean? I could easily turn into my dad and kind of be an asshole, and I don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to do that. It's funny, he's navigating the whole girl thing now, and he won't talk to me. My wife has to come and she'll tell me like, oh, he's doing this and that. I'm not going to air him out. He might be watching this shit. Like you said, he's 73. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I'm like, it hurts me a little bit. I'm like, why don't talk to me? Like, I'm a cool dad. I'm the coolest dad there ever was. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you want to talk to girls, guy? I got you, And My wife's like, I think he's just kind of he's insecure because he wants you to think he's cool. So, and that hurts a little bit, but I do understand. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So I don't know. I'm kind of just I'm waiting for the day to come when he asks me questions, and until then in the car I'll just kind of poke. So what's going on in your life? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You talking to anyone?
Right.
You know?
And always ready with a fuck that bitch.
Yeah, 100%.
Gotta be ready.
100%. Because he's a sweetheart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not a soft. He's not soft, but he's you know, he's a little emotional. You know what I'm saying? He's in touch with his emotions. I won't call him emotional, but he's in touch with his emotions, and as am I personally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you're 15 trying to figure out how to make girls like you, it's really easy to overdo it, and you end up the guy carrying purses and shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. I would say though, getting hurt is one of those necessary things.
Absolutely.
You know, carrying purses and writing poems. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I love it to this day. Break my heart, please. I need more songs. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah.
But I've been picking people's brains. See, this is how much of a fucking fag I am. All right. I gotta say, if you had told me 5 years ago, not only would I have rose quartz on my counter, or would I have voted for fucking Donald J. Trump, or if I would be watching all right, I'm gonna open the kimono, everybody. All right.
I fucking almost wore a kimono. I wish I was. Go ahead. Sorry to cut
No,
you
you
off.
watched that. I almost wanted to ask you to wear that fucking ching chong hat, dude. I love that shit.
I could go get it. It's within reach. No, go ahead. I don't let me derail you.
All right. But okay. So when I was in my 20s, I thought like, I ain't never having kids. Fuck that shit. Blah 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 blah. I'm not I'm too selfish. You know what I mean? I was like Mr. Non-monogamy and all that bullshit. I think maybe most dudes go through certain phases like that, but for me, I wasn't clear on humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I had these thoughts, I had these beliefs, but in actual practice, it was like, oh, this doesn't fit what I want. But when I hit 30, I was dating this girl, and I was like, uh-oh, I think I could see myself having kids with this chick. And then a few years later, I like really fucking wanted kids. And it's gotten better, but like, I don't want to want kids. I don't. You know what I'm saying? There's a piece of me that just feels like that's some fucking soft simp shit. You know what I mean? Like, or even better, because this is another reason why a lot of us become overly aggressive, whatever, is to protect ourselves from, like you're saying, we're sensitive people, right? We're in touch with our feelings. And so in order to protect that ultra, I'm never hurt, fuck you,
Yes.
But I actually do want kids, to the point where sometimes, don't tell anybody, everybody. Sometimes I'll watch compilations. sometimes you ever watch those videos? You catch yourself being a fag for a quick second, and you're like, I think I want to watch like a compilation of like troops coming home. You ever do that shit? Come on, man. I can't be the only one.
I absolutely don't, but that's way worse than what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say, sometimes I catch myself wanting kids so much that I just don't pull out. I just leave it in, and but watching the troops come home is way worse, Pete.
Don't shake your head at me, pussy monster, you motherfucker. Not all of us can have a sweet name. Not only that, but sometimes I'll watch just like compilation videos of like pregnancy announcements. Listen, it happens. God. It happens. Listen, if we went, how many of those books behind you did you read? Okay, fucking, that's first things first. I know Tongans fucking don't even read, so don't even fucking.
Those aren't real books. That's just where I had my drug money.
Right. But so like, there's weird little shit like that happen in my life where I'm like, I think this is a thing that I want. Now, am I doing what's necessary to protect my man shit? Fuck yeah. Am I building up my own spirit? Fuck yeah. Am I learning how to be more self-sufficient and all this shit? Absolutely. But hey, there's times where I'm like, okay, I've become, what I mean by that is I've become more clear about what I want. And I've been, therefore picking people's brains, man's brains, sometimes women's brains, parents' brains about
Mhm.
what that experience is like, and how to parent somebody when you love them real fucking bad, but you need to let them have rope in order to hang themselves. You need to let them experience their own mistakes and whatever.
Yeah.
What has, without putting anybody on blast or even yourself
Sure.
on blast, what has some of that process looked like for you as you've gotten older? Was it different in the beginning?
Definitely different in the beginning. I'll say this, and this might not be. I haven't really unpacked this in my own head, so I'm just going to talk out of my ass for a second.
Yes.
I would say if you find someone, choosing my words because I love my wife. If you find someone who you really love, you might not want to have kids with them. Now, is it beautiful? Sure. Is it beautiful to be like, yeah, look what we made? You know what I mean? But in my experience and the experiences of everyone around me, it kind of fucks shit up a little bit.
Okay. In what way?
You end up being partners. You end up being business partners and roommates and not best friends. Best friends, you end up being like war buddies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Which is it's a delicate and a precious relationship to have. But it ain't necessarily the funnest all the time. It's very rarely fun, to be honest,
Mm.
And I would say that the kid is probably 100% the reason for that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. There are other
Even
factors.
right, even when they've gotten older?
Yes, absolutely. Shit, especially when they've gotten older.
But
At
I feel
first,
like
it's
just
just
since they're
diapers and crying. That's easy.
right, but, like, once they're, like, not maybe 10, but it feels like from an outsider's perspective that maybe at 10 is where they're becoming more not self-reliant, they still need you, but where they don't need your attention as much as they did when they were 2.
Sure, absolutely. But then with them not needing your attention, it's because they're venturing out into the world and you're always going to worry about them. And you're always going to differ in opinions on how do we fix this. Like this motherfucker smokes weed now. I don't even
Mm,
smoke weed. I don't want to talk to him about that shit. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? I'm lucky. His mom and I tend to see eye to eye on more things than not. But I can imagine like a lot of my friends are like getting divorced and stuff. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you guys had a kid. You ruined it. It was great. It was great. It was fine. You know?
So it changes the relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. If it doesn't, you're probably not doing it right.
Mm,
Know what I'm
okay.
saying? I
Right.
also know nothing. So like
No, 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 no. Um, no, everybody's experience is, valid.
sure.
Hi, Sahara. Good to see you, mama.
How many people are in here, Pete? Can you see?
Yeah,
It doesn't
only like
matter.
4 at the moment, but we've
Oh,
had probably 20 something. I don't know.
oh wow.
I'm so deeply shadow banned. It doesn't even fucking matter. This may be episode 250, but I might as well have started it fucking yesterday. Subscribe and share, you ungrateful, racist pieces of dog shit. I hate you all. Oh, and I hope you're watching on Rumble because YouTube is the devil. And I get just as much play on Rumble, even though I have like 1/10 the subscribers.
Mm.
Anyway,
Is that
what was
because
I saying?
content? Is that literally because of what you talk about?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
I have a strike against my account
Oh,
because I
really?
said things I'm not supposed to about the
Yeah.
certain chemical that people were forcing into people's fucking bodies a year ago.
Right.
Um, fucking cocksuckers, white
Did you
pieces of
get
shit.
that?
No,
No, okay.
no. Um, did you?
I did.
Hmm. Did you have to get it in order to work?
Yeah, I was gonna go on tour, like
Mm,
10 shows, you know what I mean? I like to go on tour. I like people screaming for me. So I'm like, they're not gonna
right,
let me in.
right,
Fuck it, run the shot then, whatever.
right, right.
Hopefully it kills me. Just kidding.
Right. Was it also because I know you're in the photo game,
Yeah.
which we could talk about too, but was there any pressure from that end too?
Um I actually that's a good question. I was gonna say no, but it was I had already gotten it,
Okay.
so there probably would have been,
Right.
you know, but I didn't experience any of it because I was like, yeah, I got my papers. Let me in.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right. Right.
saying?
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, they were definitely checking for papers.
Right.
California, you know.
It's the worst place in the world.
Yeah, it really is.
So, yes, I am very funny, Sahara. Thank you. See, fucking women of color listen to my show, so you have to unshadow ban me.
What color? I'm curious.
She's, I can't remember. She's talked about it before.
Well, you call me Tongan, so I don't know how fucking spot on you'll be.
I think she's Middle Eastern of some kind. You answer,
Okay.
Sahara. She'll probably be mad and be like, "Motherfucker, I'm Ethiopian," you know, whatever. But yeah, how do we follow the fucking breadcrumbs back to what we were talking about? Yeah, no, I mean, I face some. I mean, that's part of the reason I'm in Austin, because I'm like, you know, for me, it didn't feel right, and that's
Yeah.
why, you know, for many reasons, I initially just saw it as like going to the DMV. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But yeah, but when it comes to if you had to, what would you even do then? If you're talking about, if you think like Sahara says, I am just fucking human. We don't know that for sure, Sahara. You may be a bot. All right, you may be a bot sent by Mark Zuckerberg. Sahara's a Fed. So if you feel like having a kid with somebody who you love, you're in a relationship with, what would have even been because obviously you don't regret it. You love your kid and
No.
you love your wife.
Yeah.
So what would have been another way around that? I don't know if there would be, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure there is, and you wouldn't know the difference anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those weird things. You just have to do it. But did we have to?
Yeah, now this motherfucker won't even take my advice. Listens to trap. You know, fuck this. You know.
Yeah, right. Yo, side note, something I think about, complete side note, something I think about often. When you came to my hotel in Brooklyn, I was staying in the most Brooklyn ass hotel there ever was, correct?
Right.
And I remember you you went into the bathroom and you came out and you weren't even like saying it so I'd hear it. That's how I know you meant it. You were like, "Yo, did you see the soap in your bathroom?" I'm like, "Yeah, what about it?" And you're like, and you look down, you're like, "It says from a local soapery." Fucking white people. I think about that all the time.
I don't even remember that. Yeah,
Oh,
I
it was just a thing. It was a thought that you let out of your mouth. It wasn't really for me. That's how I know you meant it. It's like,
right. I was in a
fucking
mood,
white
man.
people.
I get in these
Soapery.
moods.
No, it's great.
Sometimes my fans are like a little bit. It's not just white people. I'm like, I understand that, but I'm just saying it is though. Like it
Yeah.
is though. Like it is though. Because I mean,
Right.
you know, there's 60% of the country, right? And
Mhm.
yet they're 99% of the problem. So, you know, what are you gonna fucking do?
Sure.
So okay, so yeah, there's no way around that as far as having a fucking kid. I still kind of fucking feel like I want to do it. Now, I'm also in the mode of figuring out farming stuff and like homesteading shit. That's another
Yeah.
level of partnership with a partner. You know what
Sure.
I mean?
Yeah. I saw you with a pitchfork. I think that was just yesterday. I seen you with a pitchfork and a wheelbarrow. You need some overalls, goddammit.
I need a hat. I need a fucking cowboy hat.
You look like you're enjoying yourself, though.
I was, dude. I got a little
Yeah,
sunburn, but I also feel like being in this mode of whether it be, you know, doing some fucking work, some yard work or whatever. You know, any step towards self-sufficiency is fine by me. You know
sure.
what I mean? I haven't done
Yeah,
yard work since I was like fucking 10 years old. You know what I
right.
mean?
Right,
So
right.
I personally am in the mode of fuck the government. So any way I can get off the government teat is, you know, good. You know,
Sure.
practicing shooting guns. I'm figuring out, you know, buying, you know, solar power and all kinds of shit, all kinds of shit.
Look
Because
at you. Yeah.
I'm like, fuck y'all. You know, even if it doesn't pop off, even if it
Right.
never pops off, I'd
Sure.
still rather it just feels good, like some man shit. When you work out and you just check yourself in the mirror, and I know that's a little gay, but you check yourself in your mirror and you're like, you goddamn right. That's the feeling. Men need that feeling. Men need
Absolutely.
that self-respect of like, you goddamn right. We need that shit.
Yeah, and I grew up that way actually. I grew up on 5 acres, which was technically like 30 acres because everyone around me had 5 acres, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
like, no neighbors and, gardens and fucking animals and milking cows, all that shit. That's actually how I grew up north. And, it'll always have a place in my heart, and I do see it as important, not necessary, but like you said, it's that little extra. But I'm never doing that again myself.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good. I like Anaheim Hills.
Yeah, no, it's a nice spot. You can
Yeah.
just go down to some fucking white-owned piece of shit. So coffee.
Yeah,
It was
soberies.
sourced. Check out my selfie with a black person. Have you noticed that? There's a couple of motherfuckers, I swear to God, they're just like white liberals love, just like, look at my selfie. I met a black person.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
How is that in Austin? Because going from New York, where were you in New York? You weren't
I
in
was in
Brooklyn.
Manhattan. No, I was
You were in Manhattan.
It's worse in Manhattan than it is in Brooklyn. I'll tell you. Here's a couple of reasons why.
Yeah.
Brooklyn hipster white liberals have daddy's money.
Sure.
Manhattanites have their own. Right?
That makes sense.
Both of them are like really deeply seated in that vibe, in that mode of looking at the world. But black people are also in Brooklyn a lot more frequently than they are in Manhattan. You know what I mean? Especially certain parts, right? Now, there's different vagaries of how Sarah says, how dare you calling liberal women? Well, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. So we'll fight. Don't put any fucking hex voodoo shit on me. Don't put no bad juju on me, Sahara. But like, yeah, Manhattan. So moving to Austin, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Austin is much more libertarian than anything.
Okay.
Right? There are pockets of stupid white liberals, but the majority, like you throw a rock in any direction and you hit a good old boy, right? Even if they're white liberal hipster, blah, blah, blah. You know, someone with a cowboy hat will come in once a day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they can't dehumanize people who disagree with them as easily as they can in Manhattan, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Portland.
Right. Yeah.
And then also, though, Austin is also just finally coming into its own when it comes to being more than just Austin, more than just whatever it has been. It was, this, not seedy, but this little cultural pocket of like, we're into Willie Nelson and yeah, we're Southern, but we also hate war and, whatever. But now a bunch of tech cunts are coming in from Cali, mixed with a bunch of refugees from New York and Cali as well, who are sick of where they came from. Right. So I feel like it has a lot of potential to be a reasonable city.
Cool. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I haven't been for a long time. I'm sure it's very different. I think last time I was there was 2014. Fuck, that's almost a decade ago. That's crazy. I knew it was a long time, but then when I said it, it's like, whoa, that was a long time ago.
Can you fucking believe how quickly life is going?
Jesus. Yeah, it's nuts.
Speaking of how quickly life is going, where the fuck did we meet? I know we met doing music, but do you remember?
I do remember. I went to San Francisco with a van full of Mexican rappers, and we played a show. Fuck, it was some B reference, the honey something or other.
The honey hive.
The honey hive, yes.
The honey hive.
We played a show there, and I think my homie was headlining, and then a couple other homies were opening. But between the two, I don't remember who was performing, but you performed with them. And I was outside having a smoke, and then I just hear this operatic voice come out. I'm like, what the fuck is that in there? So I run in there, and your big light bulb looking ass was in there just belting. But like people didn't know how to feel about it. And you were getting off the stage and getting right in people's faces and screaming into the microphone, and they were just kind of looking around all uncomfortable. And then before you were done, you were on the ground continuing to sing, but doing the Homer Simpson, like how he gets on the side, he gets on the side and runs in a circle, and you're singing, and the fucking mic cord's all wrapped up, and then you just get up and thank you, and you're all sweaty, and everyone's just kind of like, like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, yo, this is the baddest motherfucker I ever met in my life. So I think I said what's up to you after, and then I immediately followed you, and I think I hit you like, yo, I'm the guy from last night. And then we just kind of for probably like a year, just liked each other's shit, comment here and there, and then one
Mhm.
day you were like, "Yo, let's get on my shit."
Right.
But that's where we met.
That's crazy, man. God,
Yeah,
that was honestly, that was probably like 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
easy, easy, easy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember even those days, I gotta say too, because we've shit talked a couple of rappers that we know in the past, and I
Yes.
won't necessarily, although I'm open to it. But I will say I'm grateful to not be kind of in that game anymore.
Mhm.
I miss aspects of it, but you know, connecting with like your real audience, your real people who actually appreciate you,
Sure.
it is, and you know as well, it is, you know, fucking an investment of time and patience, you know.
Yes. Yeah, it definitely is worth it, I would say.
Mm.
I wish I had started much earlier. I'll say that, but maybe I wasn't ready for it back then, I wasn't ready to really be myself. Does that make
Mm.
sense? I don't know.
Yeah,
Have you always kind of been yourself?
I'm fucking. I think tomorrow I'll probably be even more myself than I was today. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
okay, cool.
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And
good.
and I think that's probably a normal, natural thing.
Sure.
But I also look at, who I was even in those days, where
Mhm.
it's just like, okay, I was working hard. I was, and then go to this show, do this song, blah blah blah, show up, do this, whatever, and it was fun and it was good. But I also there's something about spending time with motherfuckers who sometimes don't have your talent. Oh.
Yes.
You feel that wave? You feel
Oh,
that wave of
oh,
uncomfortability?
oh, that one
Here we
hit.
go, everybody. Where it's egotistical, but I don't give a fuck because I'm better than everybody. But it also is like, listen, there's an element to what we do, and you're still in the rap game, but like rap game. I said that the whitest way I've ever said anything.
You did.
You're still in the game, but you know, back in those days, at least in San Francisco, it was a practice in futility, is what it was. You know what I mean? Not just because there were no opportunities there, but because there were a lot of people um, who either lacked the talent or the drive, or both. Right?
I yeah. I would
Right.
say the same for LA. Probably not as much as San Francisco. There is a lot of talent in LA. I can't deny that. But, it gets swallowed up pretty quickly.
Right.
There's a lot of people in LA.
There's a lot of people in LA and in San Francisco. There weren't a lot of people, but there was a lot of um, self-importance that was pasting over insecurity, right? And it was
Mhm.
pasting over insecurity because San Francisco was not, and still is not, and never will be, the place where music is happening,
Right.
right? So it was like, oh, the Bay, the Bay, the Bay, our the hip hop scene of the Bay. It's like, okay, yeah, but like, can some of you go bigger than that? Like, oh, it's all about the Bay. Okay, are you willing to drive 15 minutes south to do a gig? No. What about, are you willing to get up before 10 a.m. or let's just say 1 a.m. with a lot of these motherfuckers?
Right.
No. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
saying that I've always been, the most driven motherfucker, but like it was a mix of those things where it's like I'm that's why I priced myself out, because I'm like, not only are a lot of these cats not, sorry, just not good enough, but
Mhm.
also don't, like, they'd rather make a song, you know, release a song every year about the struggle, and then that's it. Like, they just rap about the struggle. It's just like fucking boring, man. I've heard this before.
Ain't
You know?
nothing worse than struggle rap, bro. Ain't nothing worse than struggle rap. It's a
That
struggle to listen to, tell you that.
yeah, well
Ugh.
done.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, it's probably my least favorite version of any music, but especially rap music.
right.
Yeah.
Now, you've kind of gone a different direction where now you've got Mr. Hoover, um, you've got a fucking live band behind you.
Yeah, and that's been a lot of fun. Our album just turned 1 yesterday, coincidentally. We put it out a year ago. Thank you very much. I'm very fucking proud of it. We recorded that in my homie's janky ass garage, and then we took it into a studio with a professional engineer. So he polished the turd quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? But it's
Right.
polished nonetheless. It sounds really good. I'm very proud of the songs. Even that was kind of I'm not like a rock and roll guy, you know what I'm saying? But it was fun to kind of play that role for a little bit, and I could still rap, I could still sing and do all that. I could still talk my shit. It was a fun time. Our bassist moved to Montana for probably same reason you moved to Austin. You know, he's just sick of it here. And
Right.
so, as you would expect, it's not very easy to be a band when one of us lives in Montana. And so I'm not going to say that's dead because you never know how things turn out. You know what I mean? But at the moment, that's just kind of on the back burner. But I am glad that we pushed an album out while we had the time, while we had each other here. I'm doing all my solo shit now. I just started dropping solo songs. They're not like any songs I ever put out before Mr. Hoover or certainly during Mr. Hoover. They're singing a lot more, taking my time a lot more, taking artistic risks and all that. Oh, look at you. Oh, wow.
There's his link tree.
It's weird to see all my shit laid out
Apple,
like
Spotify. That. Don't Drop the Hope. I watched that earlier today.
Oh, cool.
I watched it a few, whenever it came out.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for putting that on the screen.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm just having fun. I have a tendency to write a lot, record a lot, and then never really put it out because I think it's great. And truthfully, I think other people will think it's great, but I'm not sure what exactly holds me back. It's just not perfect. I'm a kind of a perfectionist,
Right.
because I'm not recording in a multi-million-dollar studio, But then I've had opportunities to do that, and I freeze up. I'm not really good at being recorded. Do you know what I mean? Do you experience that when you put your album out? Did you record that in a studio?
Yep.
With an engineer and all that? It shows because it sounds fucking perfect.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we worked really fucking hard on that, and that was very expensive. But it was worth it. Gowan Matthews is this producer in the Bay Area, incredible fucking dude, and not just incredible producer and like a fun person to be with and talk to, but also played a shit ton of the instruments on the album. Like, was just like, I think this needs a keyboard. And so he's just like plays the keyboard. He played bass. He played like a lot of the lead guitar. He's just a sick motherfucker. So yeah, Gowan Matthews, go look him up, everybody. But being in that mode was great, but like being in the booth, it always has not, it's gotten better, but like it's so you're committing. You're committing, and I'll get into the booth and sing something I've sung countless times, and it doesn't feel right. It's just
I was gonna ask you if that's exactly how I experience it.
Right, where it's just like my voice sounds like shit. I'm sweating, blah blah blah. What I like about him and good producers is that they'll be like, if they need another take, they won't be, you piece of shit, get the fuck out of the, you know what I mean? Where in my head, I'm like, you piece of shit, which is not healthy.
Yes,
but can get the next take and help you try again, but can be positive and, affirming. And now that I've become a producer, I've been able to record, vocalists, and I know what it's like to be on the other side of there. And so to be like, no, here's, I can be like, yeah, no, that was great, even though it wasn't necessarily great, but you be positive, and the capacity and the capability of this person and this performer, and you work on how to like help that come out.
Right.
It's hard.
Well, that's good though. That's growth for sure. I was definitely because you carry yourself with some confidence. You know what I mean? I always wonder if you ever feel like you're the only person that does shit a certain way. Like you said, you get in the booth and you're like, yo, why is this so easy for everyone? Why do I feel like the biggest fraud in the world right now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I'm always curious if other people, because there are people. It's weird because, and I'm sure you've thought of this before, but like the least talented people seem to have the most confidence.
Yes.
And then vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But then every
Mhm.
once in a while, someone has the juice and they're confident.
Mhm.
And fuck those people. I hate them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I 100% agree. Yeah.
But see, I wouldn't if you told me you were that way, I would have believed you because you're a very talented person and you
Thank you.
strike me as very confident.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think a couple of things have helped that. A lot of spiritual work and a lot of even honestly having this fucking show. You know,
Mm.
I may not be famous and I may be shadow banned and censored to death, but
Yeah.
yeah, subscribe and like and comment, everybody.
Yeah.
But it's actually helped me be more myself because I'm you know practiced at just letting myself loose, no filter, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Um, and so those worlds of like who I am on the show and who I am in real life have become much more closer together. You
Yeah.
know, obviously I don't say nigger around my grandma, but it is what it is. Unless she's acting like a real fucking nigger, then if my grandma's eating watermelon, and no.
Right.
But like I'm appropriate, and I
Mhm.
whatever. But I'm much more myself. As far as the confidence, though, no. Even this, every time I do a show, I'm praying, beforehand. Every
Mm.
time I get in the booth or record something or whatever,
Yeah.
it's especially with somebody I don't know or with people who I feel like it's a big deal or or if I'm paying for it, if I'm paying for studio time, I feel like, okay, now the pressure's really fucking on.
Absolutely.
This producer
Yeah.
doesn't know me. He doesn't have to be nice. You know what I mean? He's fucking, sometimes they're punching the clock. I fucking hate when a producer's punching the clock. Some cocksucker working at Hyde Studios, like, doesn't care what he's recording and doesn't like whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's just at work. Yeah. I feel you. How often are you doing that now? Are you still recording or at least writing?
I'm writing some. I'm working on a song with Diana Death right now.
Okay.
Cumbia punk song, which is fucking great.
Oh.
And but I'm doing the bulk of the production on it. And so it's kind of right now it's on my shoulders, and that's okay. I'm also about to start a new job and I'm working on the show, and I'm, there's a lot up in the air in my life.
Sure.
So whatever. And then I also am going to be releasing a couple of short songs, short original songs. One of them, I'll just say, one of them is a kind of a poking at fear mongering politicians and news, media people.
Mhm.
It's just a short little fun, filthy, vulgar. And then the other one, is a remix of what's that motherfucker's name? God damn it. Lil Boosie.
Oh yeah.
Lil Boosie did an interview last year where he's talking shit about Leah Thomas, the transgender man or transgender woman who competed and won all those against actual women swimmers.
Right.
And he's like does this interview, I think with Vlad, and he's just like, get the fuck out the pool, man. And I'm just like
Yeah.
And so I just felt inspired to just make a song. So I made a song and that'll be out in a couple of weeks. So I'll put it on my YouTube. I'll put it on my Instagram. But outside of those three things, no, not much. I get inspired sometimes, but again, there's been so much in my world right now and whatever. Yeah. I haven't been doing too much.
Yeah. One more question for you, if I
Please.
may. I remember, I don't know if it's like some Instagram bio shit that I read or whatever, but you referred to yourself as a stand-up comic. Have you actually done stand-up before?
Once.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, I don't know why I referred to myself as a stand-up comic. I think I'm a comedian in many ways.
Sure.
I mean, my memes and my stupid shit I say on the show and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But as far as a stand-up, I've thought about it. In fact, one of the reasons I moved to New York initially was like I wanted to try that out and get kind of situated in that world.
Yeah.
And then New York died, so there you go. But
right.
I also feel like, I had done. Have you ever heard of I don't think it's still a thing, maybe it is, and I'm happy that I don't even know, because it's one of those San Francisco, Oakland, what is it called? It's called not body storytelling, it's called it's that Oakland show once a month. It's like a variety show. Tourette's Without Regrets.
Oh yeah, I have heard that. I didn't know that was in Oakland though.
Yeah,
I've heard that though. Yeah.
Okay, the whitest part of California. Besides Beverly Hills.
I
But no,
think I live in the whitest part of California, actually. That's why
true.
I like it here. See how quiet it is? Yeah, go ahead.
Ah,
JK.
gentrification is not the worst thing in the world. Things are allowed to change. You know what I mean?
Look, this
No,
neighborhood's
there
so
needs to.
safe now. Gross.
There's real coffee instead of fucking
Yeah.
Bustelo out of a sock.
Yeah.
See, I say nice things about white people too. Fucking
Mhm.
ingrates. You know, so I go to the show Tourette's Without Regrets. I think they changed the name because of a little sensitivity, even though the whole bulk of the show was built to, like, you know, not be so fucking sensitive.
Yeah.
And I went there and I had performed there. It's like, you know, 150, 200 people, whatever, you know, and it's a great, you know, there's a bar, a couple bars and a couple of this, and it's once a month. And, like, you know, there's comedians and there's musicians and there's pole dancers and there's burlesque and there's hip hop and there's all kinds of everything.
Yeah.
And I had gone there, performed there twice, and it went really well. It was like once I did, you know, Hey Ya, and once I did like an original song, which was, you know, the Me song, which was all about social media, and people really liked it. And I had tested the waters. I had actually written that third verse in the Me song about politics.
Mm-hmm.
I'd actually written that for that show.
Okay.
Just to, like, tongue in cheek poke fun at the liberals. But then I went and performed there for the third time, and I got a little too big for my britches, and I decided I was going to try out a little bit of stand up.
Okay.
And so during my 10 minutes, I did, you know, the first 5 minutes of, you know, a song. And then I took off my guitar to do my stand-up. And as soon as I took off my guitar, I felt fucking naked. I felt like, oh shit, this was not a good idea. Especially the first time doing stand-up in front of 150 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And the lights were a little too bright.
Yes.
And which is not good for stand-up. And the bar had an issue with their liquor license, so they couldn't serve booze. So now everybody is not, everybody is bone dry sober, right?
Yeah.
The lights are
Just
a little
sober
too bright.
in the light. Yeah.
Right. And I just took off my guitar and I'm just like, and I just stumbled through this shitty version. And I'm used to, like, I was used to, and still am, like, doing stage banter. That's fun. You know,
Sure.
I can say some jokes and make some zingers and blah, blah, blah. And it's good.
Yeah.
But I did it, and it wasn't just like, hey, isn't airplane food weird? Like, it was shit that I knew was going to piss them the fuck off.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and afterwards,
Oh no.
and I just got the fuck out of it because it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I had just ate my dick in front of 150 people, and it wasn't because I didn't think the material was funny, but, you know, stand up, you're supposed to try in front of other people,
Right?
You know, you're supposed to get something worked out before you bring it on stage, like in front of a variety show stage like that. That's supposed to be already polished shit,
Right?
And I got a little too big for my britches and learned my lesson.
And then you went home and went to your Instagram bio and you said stand-up comedian.
No, God damn it.
And that's what I read, hence the question.
Listen, Tongans don't know English. All right. You probably just read it wrong. All right.
Quite possibly. Maybe you just said comedian, to be honest. You might have just said comedian.
Maybe. You gotta fucking it's also hard to read when you have a big bone in your nose because it gets in the way of your eyes. You know what I'm saying? I understand that.
Yes.
When you're making a boat out of bamboo. Anyway. So yeah, let's start fucking wrapping up. I'm fucking tired. I got some shit to go to. But
cool.
Yeah, is there any more you want to talk about?
Can I ask a political question? Because like, you know, like we've said, this is mostly a political show, and I always feel lesser than, because I'm not a political motherfucker, you know what I mean? But I did, in order to appease your audience, I did research a little thing, and I do want to ask you a political question. Okay. Yes, so please. Fuck, marry, kill Michelle Obama, AOC, Greta Thunberg. Go.
Oh God. Ooh. Kill Michelle Obama. Because, I mean, you know, because she's black. No, I'm just kidding. Also, you know, I don't like dick. Sorry. Hey.
Okay.
Okay. So marry and fuck are the last ones. Ooh. I can't kill two of them. All right. I'll say. All right. I'll say. All right. I'll say. Only because I would not want to marry Greta. I'd say I fuck Greta. Mostly because I really can't, like, I don't want to, you know, but like if I'll put a bag over Greta's head, I'll fuck that stupid bitch. And then AOC I would marry now.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why. A couple reasons. I think personally she's the most fuckable out of those three.
Absolutely.
Do I think she's stay withable? Fuck no. But I'm a Crib Subs says, no, Greta has to go. I understand that. But I can fuck her first and then you can go kill her.
Right.
But I'm blessed, you know, fucking as soon as she gets unuseful, you know, Klaus Schwab will murder her in her bed from a heart attack. But I would say marry AOC, and here's why. I can probably tame that stupid bitch. Now, is she worth it? Is she worth it? No. But I've been in the practice of taming stupid liberal girls for a while. Okay. I lived in the Bay Area and in New York City. I can do it, right? Why I look at Greta and AOC and I say to myself, AOC's more worth it because her body is tighter and she's less fugly. So I would go with AOC to marry because that's a commitment. And then, you know, I could, you know, you spend a couple months, you know, make her squirt a couple of times, you know, and then you got her heart, right? And then you can mold her mind. You know what I mean? So this is all very misogynistic, and I don't care because
that's why I asked. Yeah,
right, exactly. So yeah, again, I would kill Michelle Obama. I would fuck Greta with a bag over her head, and AOC I'd marry because I could tame that stupid bitch.
Very well put. Very well put.
Thank you. What about you?
I asked. Mine's way more simple. At first, I think I was gonna kill Greta, fuck AOC, and marry Michelle just for her money.
Ooh.
Because that's the richest one, obviously, right?
Right.
But then I tend to go for the joke, so I just think it'd be hilarious to introduce Greta Thunberg as my wife at parties and shit. Like, this is my wife, Greta Thunberg. She's 19. I know it's gross, but don't worry, I don't fuck her or anything. She might have Down syndrome. We're still waiting for the test results. You know?
Yeah, here's my uncomfortable, quiet foreign wife, where she's just like big-eyed, looking like Gollum, just like, how dare you?
Just torment her and take her to bonfires. She's just crying the whole time as the flames go into the sky.
Were these crackers made with organic?
Where is that bitch from? Denmark or some goddamn place?
Who gives a shit? Some stupid, some fucking. Yeah. You know what her problem is, by the way? She has the same problem that who's that frumpy bitch from Girls, HBO?
Oh God, the worst human being.
Yes.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Something Dunham.
Yeah, Lena Dunham.
Yeah,
Lena Dunham. Yeah. So you ever heard of Camille Paglia?
Yeah.
Yeah, Camille Paglia has this fucking beautiful rant on Lena Dunham from a few years ago where she essentially breaks down her fucking psychology. And Lena Dunham grew up with rich parents in New York City, right? In the acting, you know, philanthropy world. So of course she's, you know, single. And because you're not stay withable. Girls, you really have to understand there's a difference between fuckable and stay withable. You need to, any girl, like what's that, you know, Amy Schumer once said, like, yeah, I gained weight, but I can still catch a dick. So can any fucking girl can catch a dick.
Yeah.
It's if you're stay withable that makes the difference. Would I fuck, you know, AOC? Yeah. But is she stay withable?
Right.
And Lena Dunham has that same problem as Greta, where she grew up, or Greta has that same problem where she grew up with rich, bohemian, faggy, fucking white, you know, parents who think they're so, you know, their status is built on how fake philanthropic they are. Their status is built on how much they don't even care about status. Fucking turds. And so that's why Greta is the way she is. You know?
Yeah. All right. I don't know much about her. I just, including whether or not she has Down syndrome.
Right, exactly.
You know.
autism brought about definitely not by any vaccine of any kind.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, man, this has been it's always good chatting with you, dude.
Always, man. Always.
Where can people find you? Again, I'll add that to the stream.
At GVDZOOKS on Instagram, and Linktree apparently. So just Linktree at GVDZOOKS, and my whole life is there. Podcasts, music, photography, all that.
There you are, IG.
There I am.
You and Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
Where's your Chinese hat?
There's the Chinese hat.
There's the Chinese hat with the fucking shades too. God bless you, sir.
Next time you're in town, we gotta get you on mine if you'd be so kind.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll be in San Diego in a couple of months. We're gonna me and Diane are gonna do that video.
Dope. Yeah,
and
if you have some time, come
through.
And
then it's only like a couple of hour and a half, right? To Anaheim.
Yeah, something like that. It ain't bad. It ain't bad.
It's not bad. Yeah. And yeah, we'll do it again. Thank you again so much. People are weird. You have to fuck AOC. Yes, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
You can ho. People are very strange. This is why, you see, don't do live streams, because then your beautiful fans are going to say strange things and creep you out.
I'll probably never do this again.
Yeah. You're all stalkers, and I love you very much. Wherever you're listening, make sure you subscribe, share, rate, review, or you're racist. And seriously, commenting helps the algorithm. Go find this and watch this on Rumble. Fuck YouTube in the face. And love y'all very much. Bye.